Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Afizin. So today I would like to explain about 5 material that I have learned in class about curriculum. So before we through the video, I would like to say thank you to Ma'am Dwi Rianti as our lecturer in ELT curriculum. So number one is from group 4, type of syllabus. There's a type of language syllabus. Number one, grammatical or structural syllabus. Grammatical syllabus is synthetic syllabus and its content are product oriented. It is the most common syllabus type in which syllabus input is selected and graded according to grammatical notion of simplicity and complexity. Number two is lexical syllabus. Lexical syllabus is based on vocabulary and lexical unit. Number three, function syllabus. The one that is organized around a list of language communicative functions such as requesting, complaining, and suggesting. Number four, situational syllabus. The one that is organized around the language needed for different situations such as the airport or at the hotel. Number five is topical or content-based syllabus. Topical or content-based syllabus, the one that is organized around themes, topic, or other weights of contents. Number six, competency-based syllabus, the one that is based on specification of the competencies learners is expected to be mastered in relation to specific situations and activities. Number seven, skill syllabus, the one that is organized around the different underlying abilities that are involved in using a language for purposes such as reading, writing, listening, or speaking. Number eight, task-based syllabus. A task-based syllabus is one based on tasks that have been specifically designed to facilitate second language learning, and one in which tasks or activities are the basic units of syllabus design. And the last number is integrate syllabus. Decision about a suitable syllabus framework for a course reflect different priorities in teaching rather than absolute choices. The next is summary number 2 about competency-based curriculum. Competency-based curriculum is a curriculum that emphasizes what learners are expected to be rather than mainly focusing on what they are expected to know. It refers to systems of instruction, assessment, grading, and academic reporting that are based on students demonstrating that they have learned the knowledge and skill they are expected to learn as they progress through their education. Gordon divides some aspects that describe the concept of competency: knowledge, value, understanding, attitude, skill, interest. Competency-based curriculum in Indonesia as a response to the structural change in the government from centralistic to decentralized. The curriculum 1994 needed to be refined. It was a logical consequence. The implementation of the Act number 2 and 25 in 1999 about regional autonomy. The curriculum developed at the time was called competence-based curriculum, which focused on developing ability to do competence duties in accordance with certain performance standard that has been set. The third summary is from Group 4 about curriculum 1968. The 1968 curriculum is a correlated subject curriculum, meaning that the subject matter at the primary level has been correlation with the secondary school curriculum. This curriculum has an advantage like this education curriculum is prepared as a nation education guideline, but its application in the region, there is freedom given, but still with due regard to the situation, subject, and the advantages is lack of practical skills learning, even though there are already the curriculum adopts lessons that are theoretical, while there are no lessons that focus on problems in the environment. So students cannot see the real condition in the field. The subject in 1975 curriculum include pendidikan agama, pendidikan moral Pancasila, pendidikan Indonesia, IPS, IPA, matematika, olahraga, dan kesenian. And the next summary is 1984 curriculum, communicative approach. The 1984 curriculum seemed to be a reaction or correction to the errors and problems found in the implementation of the previous curriculum, especially in the development of the teaching materials as a report by the British Council. Unfortunately, the syllabus and textbook in that era still use in structural approach. This curriculum contains material methods referred to in detail so that teacher and student are easy to implement. Student activities can be more involved in learning activities through the courage to give opinions. Involvement of students in learning activities that have taken place as indicated by self-improvement in carrying out the tasks. The constantly changing curriculum aims to improve that and update the process refine of the previous curriculum to suit the challenges of the future that continue to advance. The 1984 curriculum is the result of the refinement of the 1975 curriculum. In general, the content of the 1984 curriculum leads to lesson orientation, which leads to lesson balance between cognitive skill, attitude between theory and practice, assisting in the achievement of educational and teaching goals. Graduate qualifications are clear and focus on specific jobs. Contain element of improving cognitive, affective aspect and psychomotor. And the last summary is 1945 curriculum, grammar translation method. During the early birth of the national curriculum, there were some reforms. Curriculum reform began soon after Indonesia gained independence. The first was the 1947 curriculum, which was implemented in 1950. The curriculum was still continued by the Dutch, and the 5 principles of national ideology, Pancasila, were introduced to the student as the main basis of national education. The curriculum in Indonesia after Independence Day is the curriculum 1947. As quoted by Hien, the curriculum was outlined into 3 columns: class, contact hour per week, and teaching materials. Grammar translation is one method that focuses on the translation from one language into another language and learning the rule of grammar. According to Murcia, the grammar translation approach is an extension of the approach used to teach classical language to the teaching of modern language. In the grammar translation method, most of the activities in teaching learning process are coming from the teacher. On the other hand, in this method, the teacher demonstrates the material in one way. Teacher has the main role in teaching and learning. The student just asks the meaning sentence or question that they do not understand to the teacher. Then the teacher will help the student directly by providing the translation. Okay, the next material is I want to explain about in the period of 1980s up to now, communicative language teaching (CLT) has been claimed to be used in teaching English in Indonesia. Why can CLT stand for a long period of time? How has CLT developed since then? So, the knowledge of the lecturer on the CLT concept and its implementation is very good. If it's just posed with theories about CLT as learning based on communicative competence and student-centered learning, teaching is done more interactively, and the use of task-based learning as well as authentic materials help students to always be active. In terms of the implementation of CLT in the integration of English macro skill, it has been done by all respondents, although according to some respondents there are skills that are less effective if they are taught by the CLT approach, such as listening and speaking. Grammar teaching is carried out in integrate and more enjoyable way in accordance with the context, not in the form of teaching structural theories. Without clear context, grammar teaching becomes confusing to be integrated with for macro skill. Challenges and obstacles experienced by lecturers in university in Indonesia can be broadly divided into 4 categories, namely, number 1 from the side of the lecturer, number 2 from the student, number 3 from the institutional policy, and number 4 from CLT itself as a teaching approach. The 4 challenges, the lecturers try to provide solution and recommendation that could be input for other lecturers who wish to apply CLT in learning English. It is expected that in the future, there will be further research to test whether the input from the lecturer can be really solve the obstacle and challenges of CLT, both in university and at the lower level educational. CLT stands for long period is because communicative language teaching priorities developing students' communication and interaction skill. This ensures that students can communicate effectively and confidently in real-life situations through student-to-student interaction and student-to-teacher interaction. And CLT is very good for the implementation in teaching and learning. And the last material is similarities and difference between curriculum 2006 and curriculum 2013, and which curriculum is better to be applied in secondary school context. The difference between curriculum 2006 and 2013 is in 2013 curriculum, graduates' competence aspects are on the balance of soft skill and hard skill that include competence, attitudes, aspect, skill, and knowledge. And in 2006 curriculum, it put more emphasis on the aspect of knowledge. The amount of lesson hours per are less, and the amount of subject are more than 2013 curriculum. In 2006, technology, information, and communication is not a subject, but as the learning media. Standard assessment using authentic assessment, which measure the attitudes of all competence, skill, knowledge based on the process and result. And 2013, technology, information, and communication as subject. The assessment is more dominant in aspect of knowledge. The similarity between both curricula is the two curricula both display the text as KD item. Both curriculum structure were created and designed by the government, especially the Ministry of National Education. There are several subjects that are the same between the two curricula. And I think curriculum 2006 is better than curriculum 2013 because the learning process focuses on the student, and teachers function as only as the facilitator in order to help the student in learning process. Also, in learning process, we can use any kind of source and media that make the learning process more variation, dynamic, and fun. Therefore, the student will grow properly with their own ability and need, and the student become more active and creative. Okay, I think that's all for the explanation. Thank you.